Jerry the King Lawler, Memphis wrestling legend, winner of countless titles, legions of fans, and member of the WWE Hall of Fame. This is Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling, brought to you by King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill, 745 Cash, and King Jerry Lawler's Memphis Barbecue Company.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling, where we go back in time. We go back to the 80s and 90s, and sometimes maybe even before that, and revisit some of the classic Memphis wrestling matches from the Mid-South Coliseum, from our TV stations, and today is no exception. We have some great matches. We have first of all, before I get to my guest, we of course are joined by, once again, Tom Nunnery. Tom, over there. Whoa! All right, Tom is always here to supply us with a little musical interlude whenever we need it. But our first guest on today's show, well, I guess you're going to, other than Tom, you're going to be our only guest, is none other than a guy who's very close, personal friend of mine, Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher. Any other aliases you go by?
Oh yeah, I go by former WWE World Tag Team Champion, Grandmaster Sexay, one half of one of the most famous stables in all of wrestling, Too Cool, with my boys. Shout out to Scotty Too Hotty and Big Rikishi out there, you know what I'm saying? So, well, you know what I'm saying, 26-time Southern Heavyweight Champion, Texas Champion, World Light Heavyweight Champion, oh my gosh. I can keep going.
I didn't realize that your career was that extensive. But now when I sit here and think about it, I look at you not as Grandmaster Sexay all the time, because I guess we can let the secret out of the bag. We went for a long time without doing this. We called you Brian Christopher. And I think that was my idea, because I didn't want you to have, in my eyes, I didn't want you to have the pressure of trying to follow in my footsteps, because this guy right here is my son, Brian Christopher Lawler. And so...
Did you Wikipedia me?
Why,
Where'd you get that from?
Did you feel it? Well, we're going to go back and look at some of the highlights of Brian Christopher's rise to, like you said, you started right here in Memphis and made it all the way to the World Tag Team Championships in the WWE. But we're going to go back today and look at a bunch of the matches. As a matter of fact, we're going to start right now with a match that I don't think it was the first time you and I wrestled. And that was always weird when you and I wrestled, right?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because you kept hitting me all the time.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Why would you hit me?
You're right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go back now and take a look at. Okay, you know what? See this thing you got in your ear? Show the people this thing. We have these things in our ear, and that is so our directors can yell at me during the show. And he just yelled at me right now and said, "You need to take a break after all that talking before we show this video clip." So I guess I talked too long. We talked too long. We're going to take a break right now. Tom, play us out. We'll come back.
He's the world's greatest wrestler. He's the best you've ever seen. He beat the Idol, Joe LeDuc, Harley Race.
Now, back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
Okay, we are back, and my special guest is Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, new kid on the block. I mean, you were all sorts of things. And what did you want to do? I was going to show the first time that you and I wrestled for the title.
Before we do that, let's show, because I get asked all the time, or not asked, but I get told all the time, Brian, my favorite thing you ever did is when you carried out the little red wagon full of all my belts. Oh, yeah. And
the little red wagon.
I had that little red wagon because I had 3 titles, and it would it'd give me a hernia. Like I tell everybody, I show them how much it weighs. You know what I'm saying? Let's see that.
We'll do that before we see the title match. Here's Brian and some of his titles.
What is it? Brian Christopher. Oh, he's got his little red wagon, and he's got it, unfortunately, well, he's got it full of belts is what he's got it full of. He's got the Texas belt, the Southern belt, the light heavyweight belt.
What are you looking at, Dave, huh?
I'm looking at all the hardware you got in the little red wagon here.
That's right. But first of all, I want to get something out of the way. You know, the Memphis Mafia was going real strong there for a while. Eddie Gilbert, Doug the Hitman, Billy Joe Travis, and Brian Christopher, the triple champion. But there's been a little dissension. There's been a little dissension between Doug Gilbert and Billy Joe Travis. They were both supposed to be here today, and they were supposed to be my partners, and they've gotten a little argument, or I don't know what. It's a little argument over a girl. Can you believe that?
A girl? What the?
Over a girl, and they're taking it so serious they're not even going to show up for work. See, this is work. You need to get your girl situation off to the side and take care of work first.
You've always been good about that, haven't you?
Oh, always.
You know what I'm saying? I heard you say one thing about the new triple champion, have you? I'm a triple champion, ladies and well, chum. I'm a triple champion. And Dave, you know, I had to bring it all out here on my wagon here because you don't understand just how much gold and silver is really in all these belts.
Look like about a 13-year-old kid.
You know how much is in them?
No, I don't.
I knew you didn't. That's why I took it upon myself to literally show you how much. I brought me a little.
Why'd you always try to embarrass Dave
and I'm gonna
and Corey?
Show you,
Dave and Corey embarrass
themselves. You know? Now, Dave, let me show you first of all. I'm going to show you just how much my Texas Heavyweight Championship weighs.
Texas Heavyweight
Put that on the
Championship.
scale. What do we have there, Dave?
What?
26 pounds.
And your thumb is on the back of the scale.
Yeah.
He
That
caught
got
you.
me hot. No.
27 pounds. All right, with no thumb. Now, Dave, we got my Southern Heavyweight belt. Let's put that up on the scale. How much is that? How much is that, Dave? 30. So we got
That's a
27.
belt in the palm of your hand.
We got 27 pounds, and then we got 30 pounds. What's that?
57.
What's that, Dave? That's 50. That's 57. Can you not count?
What year was this? Around
57
1992?
Yeah, 19.
Now, what do we got right here? Huh? This is the World Light Heavyweight Championship, and it's mine, too. My third
See?
belt.
I just
Put
touched
that up there. What do we got?
Why do you
19,
bring a
20,
scale to
20
the
pounds.
TV
I'm
station?
showing everybody that if I
Well,
carried
it
them all.
don't really matter. They're all mine is what matters. So what do we got there, Dave? We had 57 plus 20.
76 is what the answer is going to be.
76 pounds, Dave. That's why
actually
to bring this
77.
wagon out here. 76 pounds, that can hurt your lower back, give you a hernia. I don't want to tote all that hardware around here.
Tote?
And now, Dave,
you say
know how
tote?
much 76 pounds is, huh?
Yeah, I do.
On the wagon.
It's about how much Danny Davis's crying towel weighs about now. That's right. And oh, and here it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, just perfect timing. I wanted to bring you out here anyway, Danny Davis.
He's not crying
Don't
either.
touch my wagon.
Danny Davis.
That looks like the form of transportation that would be good to carry you around in, because all you are is a spoiled little brat. Brian Christopher. You're out here, you're trying to show just how important you really are with all your belts. Well, that's fine. You're in all your glory now, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Hug that belt to these fans really good, okay? Hug them all, because, you know, every dog does have his day. And this week, you're going to have your day, because I've got a title shot with you, because you did defeat me for that belt, but one thing for sure, it had an immediate return clause in it. And, brother, when I get my chance, I'm going to take that belt off of you. So what do you say about that, Brian Christopher?
I say, how long did it take him to paint that star on his eye?
Are you through running your mouth, huh? Listen, Danny Davis, I know that it had a return title match. I know everything. You can't tell me a thing. You might ask me a few things, but you can't tell me nothing.
I won't ask you nothing.
Hey,
I will tell you. I
Get
will
my
tell
face.
you what I want you to know.
We're not.
Well, this is what I want you to know.
How played out
Last
is that?
week you came out here and you didn't want to give me a title shot.
No, that's not true. I gave you a title shot. You
Slap
come
him,
out here
Brian.
running your mouth, said you could
Yeah,
beat
I'd
me
like
in
to see you
5
guys
minutes.
fight right
well,
now.
I put the title on the line for 5 minutes, and you couldn't back it up. That was your title shot. And then you cried and bellyached like a spoiled little brat that you are, and you wanted another title shot. And the only way you could get that was to put up your hair, because the fans suggested it. And that's what the fans wanted, and unfortunately, you still got your hair.
Who cares about the fans, Dave? No, shut up. It's time for me to talk. Give me the mic. Let go.
You sound
right.
so southern.
Now,
Where you
Danny,
from?
see, I'm a triple champion. I call the shots now. You can cry to whoever you want to. Go kiss Eddie Marlin's butt. I don't care. I'm going to tell you what.
like seeing you kiss
I'm going to tell you what goes down now, Danny Davis. And you see, since I'm the champion, and I had to put my hair on the line last week, my good-looking hair, I'm going to tell you what, Danny, if you want a title match, you have to put something on the line, Danny Davis. Now,
Put your hair on the line, Danny.
you don't need to think about it because I've already got it in my mind. You got to put your hair on the line. Your hair, Danny.
You won't do it.
What do you mean he won't do it?
Your little freaky hair. Put that on the line, huh? That's the only way you'll get a title shot. The only way.
Now, you know Danny Davis is not scared. He was a former Nightmare. I mean, Ken Wayne and he were great partners.
The return clause didn't say nothing about putting no hair on the
See,
line.
they're
What it said was I was guaranteed a return match. What?
You're right. The return clause didn't say it. I said it. I call the shots. I'm the triple champion. I said put your hair on the line.
What is Tatum saying? He's scared of me.
No, I'm not scared.
You want to put your hair on the line?
Oh, you're pushing his buttons now.
Look at.
Put your hair on the line. Come on.
There you go. What happened there?
Hey, I'm not scared of you, and I'll show you something. You want me to put my hair on the line just so I can get a title shot? Okay, you spoiled little brat. You got your wish. This week, my hair is on the line for that title.
All right, that's.
Oh, I suppose you were probably just trying to goad him into that, where he would agree to that.
See how many
The
things.
title will
Big
be
and
at
bad.
stake. Hair against the title coming up this week. And Brian Christopher, I noticed, left. All right,
forgot my
Danny's
scale.
got a match right here, and he says, let's get the opponent in here. Here he comes right here. Looks like the Shadow is going to be stepping in.
The Shadow.
Remember the Shadow?
I like that. I get the
Shadow,
Shadow.
the Scorpion stepping into the action here.
it's the,
See if we can sort of rearrange. All right,
the
the
Shadow
referee
of the
calls for the bell. Here we go, and we'll see if we can get all, 76 pounds of these belts out of here. And the
Who's the
scale,
referee
too.
there? Who's
We
that?
better check that thing for accuracy.
Don't tell me that's.
I think it's well off of it.
Is it?
Danny
Is it?
Davis,
No, I think so.
Nightmare, picks up
Look.
that big Scorpion, boy. Danny picks him up and slams him
I
down.
can't tell who the masked guy is. Maybe Jim Jameson? I don't know. Oh,
Of
man.
course, it's
He's a load, I'll tell you that.
larger
yeah,
than
lad.
Danny Davis, but Danny picks him up and slams him again.
And is the
Nightmare
referee there,
Danny
Kevin
Davis.
Christian?
Oh, yes,
Out of
it is.
Pensacola,
There's
Florida.
Your brother, Kevin
Drop kick
Christian.
from Danny.
My brother from another mother.
Takes him down.
He was actually supposed to be on the
Flips
show
the
here with
Scorpion
us
over.
today, and I don't know
Well,
what
Had a
happened.
pin cover on him. Scorpion just
He
shoved him
got a
off
real
there.
bad stain in the carpet.
Gets a clean break, and
Something, I
Nightmare
don't
Danny
know.
Davis waiting on him.
Now, while this match was going on, you had just been embarrassed by Danny Davis, and he's embarrassing the Shadow right
Guy
there.
can wrestle, let me tell you, Danny Davis.
What were you doing? Back in the back, just brooding, or what were you doing?
I was fixing my hair.
No, this is all about hair
To the
matches, right?
Scorpion.
Yeah.
The referee, Kevin Christian, taking.
And I was shining my belt.
He
I
wants to
remember I
give
was
it
shining
up.
my belt.
Okay.
That takes a while.
Scorpion hanging in.
Look at that. Look
Danny
at the
Davis
shadow
touching
of the
that
Scorpion.
arm.
How long would it have taken you to beat this guy?
Oh my word, it would have taken. First, I would have taken his mask off
Scorpion still
and
holding on.
exposed
Got a
him,
shoulder
you know.
down.
Then I would have
Got
pulled
a
his shirt up and
workout
seen
out of
all the rolls he's got going. He's
Scorpion gets back on his
a
feet.
baker's dream with all the rolls.
Slams away on
This was
Danny
like,
Davis.
what did we say, like 1992 or something like that? MC, your brother, the referee, has a nice mullet going.
Danny Davis.
Mullet.
Oh,
my, what is he? Why does it take
Oh,
so
against Danny
long?
Davis.
Look at that neck breaker he just popped
All
on.
right, watch. Come on. Shot
He
the
is.
Scorpion.
He's got it.
Hey, you're here.
Oh, come on. What is up with this now?
Business about to pick up. Here we go.
Jumps him from behind and just goes crazy on Danny Davis. Boy, would fight Danny face to face up there. Jumps him from behind right when Danny Davis.
Hear
had
what
the
Corey
Scorpion
Macklin's saying about you. You wouldn't
Here
fight
comes
Danny face to face. You had to come in jumping from behind.
Jumps on Danny Davis.
That wasn't from behind.
Danny knocked Brian over the table here and embarrassed him is
Come on,
what
Brian.
happened. And
Oh, come
now
on, me.
Christopher's
There
jumping
we
from
go.
behind. Look at that. Oh.
Too smart.
Yeah,
Do you happen to remember
that's
what
the triple
happened when you
champion there,
faced Danny with the hair at
Hey,
stake?
Danny Davis, you just better be glad I spared your life because I'm going to shave your head this week. You're going to be bald. You'll be bald, Danny Davis.
I believe he wound up
There's Danny
leaving the
Davis right
Coliseum
there.
looking like a
He
cute.
wants that light heavyweight
Oh, really?
title
Yeah.
back. Brian
Then he
Christopher's
tried to
got
get me
it.
to become a card stake, you know. That didn't happen. It wound up being, I put my girlfriend's car stake or my wife's car stake. Yeah,
What?
yeah, but I never lost anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, your
Danny
girlfriend's
Davis-
car and your wife's car?
Well,
How did that happen?
oh,
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else right now. Let's talk about the match. Let's skip ahead about a year or so into 1993, and we're going to take a look at the first time you and I wrestled for the title.
What
the
title?
unified title that I had at the time. It wasn't one of your 3 titles that were in your little red wagon. So let's go
How
ahead.
did I fit 4 titles in my lower?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see if you won that title or not. This is my son, Brian Christopher, going against me, which I said was always a little weird.
Is that a
for the
Rivera
title?
jacket? Is that a Rivera?
What, a Rivera?
Yeah, Tokyo. You know the steakhouse that
No,
everybody-
absolutely not.
Doug
No.
Gilbert still wears his.
Let me
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you what jacket that is. That jacket is a Carl and Hildegard jacket.
Hey,
that is going
old
way
school.
back.
Oh my word. K&H.
K&H.
Had a little catalog.
Yes,
staple.
absolutely.
A lot of people have been wanting to see. These two have been in action before.
That's K&H where I got on right there.
There you go.
Christopher
Yeah,
Zettermo have another belt for the collection. Soon as this
And
is
there's
over with,
referee Frank Morrell.
holds up
All
the
right.
unified
The French
title.
Angel.
And that'll be kept right over here. Corey, keep an eye on
Was
that.
he
one.
really from France?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
His mask was.
I think it was from Franklin, Tennessee.
His mask was straight from Milan. Hey,
We'll
hey, hey.
guard it, let me tell you. Hey, all right, the first action is Brian Christopher immediately jumping out. He hadn't hit you with a fist. He hadn't used the fist.
How did you
I
always
just had my fist
forget?
doubled up. I didn't hit
That's,
you yet.
that's halfway illegal.
A lot of folks
You know
will
what I
say he's daydreaming if he
Illegal.
thinks that he will wear that unified belt. Don't sell him short. He's tough. He is tough. And he's sneaky. Yeah.
See?
But
He's only
Yeah, you
gonna
got now.
warn.
See, you're just trying
Right there,
to poison the well here. You're trying to get the referee against me.
So if you want to go, I'm ready. Here we go.
Come on, put him up. I'll tell you what, Lawler has forgotten much more
Listen.
about wrestling and championship matches than Brian Christopher knows.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
my word. How would Dave know that?
What do you mean, Dave? No, Dave has known me since the beginning of my career.
Here we go. Oh,
Oh,
that would
no,
have
I'm
been a Bill.
hanging on,
Come on, Bill.
hanging on.
Christopher trying
Bill.
to hip toss the king out of the turnbuckle. Look at Lawler.
There you go. That's how it's done.
Oh, he just throws Christopher right out of there. A little
And that
lesson in how
TV
it's
brain.
done.
Yeah, it was hard.
Christopher
But you know what?
tried 3
Just take a
times,
listen to
couldn't do
our
it. Lawler
fans
said,
there in
"All
the
right,
TV
here you
station
go."
back in the day.
And
They were
now
awesome.
What was Christopher complaining about now?
They got into the
Whatever it
matches
was,
so
the
much.
crowd assures the referee, there was nothing
Why
wrong
did
with
they
that.
always boo me?
Oh,
Why did they boo me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with you
Get
coming
the
out with
referee watching the
a
opponent
little red
closely.
wagon full of titles and bragging
Maybe
and telling
provide
everybody
an
you were the
opening for
greatest thing
yourself
since
to do
sliced bread.
something That is not within the
I
rules.
wasn't going to lie to
That's
you.
probably
Oh,
what he's
okay.
thinking. Lawler whips Christopher in.
Uh-oh, look at this
Not
move.
today.
Christopher hangs on.
The peacock strut. Now, peacock strut.
What's it called?
The peacock strut.
Is that a peacock on the wall back there? Or is that an eagle?
Outsmarted you.
Did you have him put that up there for the peacock strut?
That's not smart until you win this unified
Yeah.
world title that's on the line. Better remember that, Christopher, when it comes down to the king. Lawler tangles up with Christopher. And Christopher
I'm a clean break.
backs him up
Clean
against
break.
the
Clean
rope.
break? No, that's not a clean break. See?
Well, the French angel got in the way.
Right in the midsection. Reversal here.
And there's the reversal.
There we go. Illegal.
Fist.
All the way illegal. 100% illegal.
He busted him right in the mouth with that one. And I'm not sure what he had that fist closed up when he hit it
Oh,
there. Huh?
see,
Oh, look at
Dave,
you!
always
Look
on
at
your
you!
side.
Look at you putting your hands on the referee. Can't do that to Frank Morrell.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he did.
I regretted it.
Frank Morrell turned around and drop kicked yours. Whoa, where are you going? Where are you going now?
Oh, he's going into that little. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah.
See,
Using the fist. I'm throwing
it don't,
a
you
finish.
know.
I'm leaving. It's
When
the
my
crybaby
opponent always
attitude that the
cheats.
that the
'Cause
fans
I,
just do
you
not
know,
like for Brian
straight-
Christopher.
Where are you going? You
Dave Brown, does he not know a fist is illegal? Everybody knows a fist is illegal. He's
Well,
that
the
big
French
fat
angel
pig
didn't know.
right there in the red sweatpants. She knows a fist is illegal. Everybody knows it.
You better
Somebody
be
out there in
by
red
10 or you're
sweatpants you're
out
talking
of here.
to?
He made it.
Red sweatpants.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure.
said even the guy in the red sweatpants knows the fist is illegal.
Always unhappy, always being mistreated.
Why would you wear sweatpants when you're going to be on television? You know what I mean?
Chris over here in the solar.
Were these tickets for free?
I don't know. You and I are wearing spandex, so who
Hey,
knows?
I'm looking pretty good.
Back Lawler up against the
we go.
turnbuckle. Should be a clean break for the king.
Oh,
See?
man.
One for...
Clean break.
Yeah, that's 2 fists to my 1.
Yeah, Lawler nails him back in there. Watch Chris
You got a foreign object.
Yeah. No. Didn't see anything. I had a little itch.
Yeah, you had something.
I tell what it was. He looked like something he busted him with, and it didn't look like
It was a
pain.
donut hole.
Yeah.
He had it balled up in his hand there and had part of it.
That's how you got
Get out
the
and
advantage.
grab Lawler with it. Well, he goes to work on Jerry.
Well.
Takes the king and whips him into the turnbuckle.
Oh, man, how'd that feel?
Gets out of the way.
How you got that dislocated shoulder?
Yes.
And the king goes to work.
Come on, me. Come on, me.
Come on, me. You kidding me?
Christopher out of the corner. On the middle rope is Lawler. Comes
Oh,
out on in.
That's why my knees are so sore to this day.
Hey,
What's this?
Hey, my boys, Harlem Heat. Men on a mission.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's right. You forgot about them.
Man.
Forgot about them. Big Mabel, Sermo. They never gonna. They always got my back. And
Big Mabel is
Mabel
right.
has more than my back. Boom.
Watch out.
Oh, goodness.
525 pounds.
I'm 25.
Oh.
A little bit more than my 3 times. Yes. I remember their first time on television. Mabel got up on the second time. Oh, this might be it. No, he breaks him one time. It wasn't this one.
Goodness.
I hope it's this one. Here we go.
How does that ring hold that? Ah! Boom!
Shaka.
How did I take that?
Oh, my word.
Well, thank you very much for having your buddies, Big Mabel and Sir Mo, back there waiting till
They
you
got
in
my
trouble.
back. No, I wasn't in trouble.
They got my back before that was over. Oh, my ribs still hurt from that. I'll tell you what we're going to do, though. We're going to take a break. You didn't win. You realize that. You did not win. You lost by disqualification. So we're going to take a break right now. We're going to come back, and we're going to show a little bit later on in the show, you were with a guy that actually introduced The Rock right on Memphis TV, didn't
My
you?
boy, The Rock.
All right.
Yeah.
Tom,
Yeah.
play us out of here. We're going to take a break. We'll be back
He was
with more
born
right
and
after
raised
this.
in Memphis. This is where he'll stay. Tell all the women Jerry Lawler's on the way. He's a rock.
Now, back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
Well, thank you. Welcome back to Classic Memphis Wrestling. And Brian, you were just commenting about how much you enjoyed Tom's.
Oh, my word.
What?
Oh, with Tom Nunnery. You know what you need to do. For
What?
now,
What?
I carry him with me. I think I got some of my
Tom,
pocket.
let's hear this is what he likes. Let me hear you, Tom.
No.
What is it?
All right,
okay,
okay. And by the way, what type of hat is that? Never mind.
I gave Tom
From
that hat.
now on, please, get you some of these. Brian Christopher bringing Sexay back. Sexay back. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Is
how
that a
cool.
CD?
That's me singing. And somehow you got on here puppies.
Hey,
me and
wait
you
a minute.
together. You know what I'm saying? Puppies. You know what puppies
Okay.
are. Look at that baby. Oh, look at that baby. Yeah.
Okay,
that's looking good.
we can't use this as a plug for your new CD.
Well-
I didn't even know they still made CDs. Don't they just download music these days?
You can download it. iTunes, CD Baby, Google Music.
Okay. Before we get into that, let's go back and get into. I want to go all the way back from when you first started. Take a look. Let's just roll this, and we'll talk a little bit as we do about. This is like from you. You started as one of the new kids, right?
Well, yeah, Tony Williams was my high school best friend.
There he is, right there.
That's the Fabulous Ones.
Yes.
Him across the way into the turnbuckle, but Tony moved out of the way. He's headed
Please
for the
tag me.
corner. Can he
Tag
get there?
me.
Tag Brian.
Tony Williams teaming with
There's Tony.
Brian Christopher as the new kids.
And here comes
And you guys are going against the
Yes.
Fabulous Ones?
Yes, look at me go. Boom.
Man.
Come on, Brian. There's me. Ooh, those to the jawbone.
And Steve
I
Kern
am-
and Stan Lane. Those guys were probably.
Look at me.
Okay, I'm looking at you, but I wanted to say the Fabulous Ones. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Oh. Oh.
That was called the Gator Killer.
Look out.
Oh,
I ain't
nice.
going over, dude.
Nice.
Oh,
Now through the rope, down onto the floor.
You were a little green.
Tony had to try to
Green, you and
he
Tony.
goes to work on turn,
But
leads
now,
from behind,
you know,
comes around
Steve
and
Kern
ends
and
up
Stan
putting
Lane,
the
got to give them credit.
midsection
They may
in.
have been the most
And now
famous
both
tag
of the
team
Fabs, Stan
ever
and Steve
in Memphis
are in there
wrestling.
working.
And in this,
Look
at
out.
this time, though,
Look out,
they had
turn.
Oh,
already.
that's illegal. Boom. Yes.
Well, the referee didn't
So
see
we
it.
did win.
What happened?
They
It's
stole
called
my
for the
move.
foul. That's over. It's an illegal.
Oh, now he hit the referee.
Knocks down the referee.
Who was that?
Jim
kicking me?
Cornette's the managing the Fabulous Ones?
Yeah, I believe so.
Look out, here comes the king. And that's
Wait, hey, I'm coming to help you.
That's right, Will.
Hey, you look like you're in trouble. He's just watching out there. So there's a young kid. Looks like he needs some help.
That is a W in the new kids column. So yes, you can add the Fabulous Ones
To the list of people you beat.
losers to me. Yeah.
You don't look like a winner right there. No, that's
I mean, I
Tony.
was about 15 years
And
old.
even though Tony looked like he had things going his way with a small package,
Look
it
at
was
Tony.
the candy man who ends up.
You should look at Tony now.
Look at this.
What does he look like now?
Bill Huckleberry.
He's not the one that even got the hand. Tony got
Googling.
the hand. They
Googling.
come at
No,
Tony,
do
and
not
that's
Google Tony
looks like
Williams.
sitting in the middle of the ring, and looks
Oh,
like Tony's
man.
trying
What are you
to
mad
say,
about now?
"Let's
Because he
go, it's all
can't
right."
pull his
Yeah,
weight.
But Brian,
And his
Brian's
weight
upset.
wasn't
He's
much.
just telling Tony, just go on.
Neither was his height.
Telling Tony to just go on and leave him alone. I didn't hear exactly what he said.
Is this the end of the new kids right there?
Well, I think I'll give you one more
still
chance.
sitting there. Brian is not the one who was pinned, but he is mighty disappointed. Last week he got a win over the Candyman. He did get a win last week. This week he's lost. He's headed
This
this
might be
way.
the
Maybe
first
a
time I
comment or
ever
two
got on the microphone.
from Brian
First time you
Christopher.
talked?
I know I don't have an interview scheduled, but I got something that's irritating me very bad,
Oh.
and I need to get it off my chest. The last week I came out here, and I had a match against Candyman. Everybody saw what happened. He
Candyman.
came out here, dancing to his music, throwing his candy. He felt real good. But when he crawled up in the ring with me, he got beat.
Who was Candyman?
That was Reggie B. Fine.
Reggie B. Fine.
That's going to be real good. And look what happens. What happened, Dave Brown? What happened?
Well, you guys
What did
lost.
happen?
Tony got pinned.
Yeah, Tony gets pinned. Now the record book's not going to go down as the Candyman beat Tony Williams. It's going to go down in the record books as the Candyman and Dirty White Boy beat the new kids. And I'm not a loser.
Right.
I'm in the sport to win.
That's right.
You get no fame when you lose. You get no glory.
Tell
You get
him.
less money.
Tell him me. Yeah. Look at
So
them
right
traps,
now,
man.
I'm asking a favor of Eddie Marlin. I don't want to be anything to do with any tag teams around here anymore. I'm an
This was
old
the
man.
end of the new kids. The old man that looks like I'm 12.
I don't want to be partners with Tony Williams anymore. Tony, are you a jabroni?
Jabroni.
What's the deal with you, huh? You still a job boy? Huh?
Job boy.
I'm here to win. So Eddie Marlin, from now on, single matches for me. I'm going to do it my way.
Well, you heard their
Oh, here we go.
reaction. I
Moving
don't
forward
have to
now.
look
See,
at that
doing it
anymore.
my way. Look what that did.
That's because they're all homeless, too. They're
What?
jealous they didn't get a can of Spam.
Look,
But anyway,
that was right after
I know
my
you're wondering
video.
what this is. Can you read? I told y'all last week I'd get a big Oscar for that performance, for that
Oscar?
video. And sure
Look,
enough,
that's a big Oscar.
straight from Hollywood. Get it close with that. Get it close up. Get it close up. Can you read that, Dave? Corey,
Bet-
can you read that?
Best wrestling video ever, Brian Christopher.
God.
That's right. That is right. I'm amazed you can read, Dave.
Rubs that boot right in the face of John Parsley. Big spot.
Ooh. Now, who am I beating up there?
Takes him down. Now, Christopher can
That's a good question.
get a pin and probably win the bout in him, but no, he
Eat
just
it
wants to
nasty.
humiliate Parsley.
Ooh, keeping it black and yellow.
Who is your opponent?
That ought to wrap it up if he goes for the pin, but he's not going to do it. Look, he's stepping out. He's going to climb the rope.
Is this
there he
that
goes.
Tennessee Jam?
He's up on the top one there now.
Is this the first time we ever saw the Tennessee Jam
I think it is.
finishing move?
Parsley with a big
Give me
right
one.
leg. 1, 2, he got it. Well, he gets the win. Well, it turned out to be quite a mismatch, actually. We didn't know much about Parsley coming in, but
Parsley?
Brian Christopher
But what do you
upset.
think?
Frankly,
wrestled some guy
that,
named
he is
Parsley?
no longer the Southern Heavyweight Champion. He came out here with his
When he goes against his tag team
award that
lettuce.
he claims to have won for his video. He does get a victory here today.
Uh-oh.
How'd you like it, Dave?
Well,
Impressed? They're all jealous. I got the
Get your belt on backwards. Look at that.
title. I'm taking conference.
there he goes, Brian Christopher, Oscar under his arm.
Please, Jeff, come on. He'll put his hair on the
Oh,
line.
my
What
goodness.
is that?
Come on, Jeff. If you can beat me, you can shave his head bald all the way down to the
This is
scalp.
when you had run-ins with Jeff Jarrett.
Look at that hair. I couldn't wait to shave that.
Who cares?
Who's
He'll
that
do
guy?
it. He will do it, believe me.
Well, ask him.
Who is that
See,
guy?
you'll do it, right?
Well,
No, Brian.
Oh, Zeke, you're right.
Zeke
That
the
was
Snake.
Zeke.
What street corner I find him on?
He reminds me of the guy in the WWE with no chin.
Hey, Brian.
Yikes.
His hair's on the line.
Hey, obviously, Brian, he doesn't think. Obviously, he doesn't think that you can beat me.
Oh,
See, I didn't
don't
ever
make
call
me
him
laugh.
Jeff Jarrett. I called him
Hair's on the line
bleach
because
blonde
you know
sissy
I can
boy.
beat him, right? Right?
Oh, your boy Zeke
How
said
hard
he
am I
don't know
about
if
to
you can
slap
beat him.
him? Come on, me.
What happened to his chin? Keep your chin up.
I
What
run
happened to
the
this guy's
show.
chin?
I'm the boss around here. You do as I say. If I say you put your hair on the line, you put your hair on the line. You understand me?
He don't
You
understand.
understand? Oh, yes, it will. His hair's on the line. You sign the match. Your hair's on the stinking line, punk.
Yeah.
He won't even do it, and unless I can get your hair at stake, I ain't signing no matches. This guy don't even want to do it. We ain't having.
Scared. Scared.
Who's this?
Hey, man. Last week was a
my
big
boy.
fluke.
Oh,
Craig
Clyde.
Bond.
You can beat this big sissy, no problem. I'll put my hair on the line.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Hey, I don't need Zeke. Forget about Zeke.
Ali Ben Khan, Mr.
I
Clyde.
got Mr. Clyde. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, right now, here today, the narcissist, Lex Luger.
Just saw Lex Luger
Oh, my
last night.
gosh. You brought the narcissist to
bring him
Memphis
in.
TV?
Yes.
It is indeed Lex Luger.
I was kicking it. Oh, the boy.
I think every wrestling
Still there.
fan
There we go.
knows about Lex Luger. He has quite a history.
And then when we had the match,
And here he is here today.
that's when you tried to burn
Can you
Lex
believe
Luger.
it?
And he got out of the way, and there I was.
Next to Brian Christopher is the narcissist, Lex Luger. Oh, Lex. I know.
Would you call
I
him
have
the
to
narcissist?
apologize
What?
for
He's
these
a
people.
narcissist.
They have
Of
no
sissy.
manners and no respect for true superstars like yourself. But Lex, before we go on, I want to kind of refresh your memory. I don't know if you know, but we have somebody running around here by the name of the King.
There you
He
go.
calls himself the King. And what he's been doing, Lex, let me tell you, what he's been doing is he has been knocking the WWF. He has been knocking Howard Finkel. He's been
Howard
knocking
Finkel?
Vince McMahon. He just won't shut his mouth, Lex.
Brian,
Let's hear this.
Let's establish one thing right off the bat. The mere presence of the narcissist Lex Luger will eliminate any challenges, any derogatory remarks
His hair
from
wouldn't be
Jerry
caught
Lawler
on, would it?
or
Yeah.
anyone else by my mere presence here today.
Did you hear that, Dave? Oh, and Lex, one more thing. There's this sissy boy running around here with bleach all in his hair. He calls himself Jeff Jarrett. And what Jeff Jarrett did one time, Jeff Jarrett went down to a WWF wrestling event, and he got in the ring and he challenged Bret the Hitman Hart.
How'd that
There will
work?
be no challenges with the presence of Lex Luger here today. It's just the fact that I'm here. You know, dogs bark real loud, but when they're scared,
Dogs
they bark the
bark.
loudest. And when they're confronted with true danger, they are totally silent. And that's what you'll see here today.
So there's going to be a big attitude change today.
The title of the poem is "Don't Quit,"
Oh,
and it
I
starts
hate
out
poems,
like
by the
this.
way.
You don't
When
like
things
poetry?
go wrong,
Well, a
as they
haiku every now
sometimes
and then.
will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit.
There you go. Don't quit.
Yeah, this was a poem that was on his bedroom wall when he was a little kid, you know, that his dad
and many a person turns about
and everything.
when they might have won had they stuck it out. Don't give up. Though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown.
Hey, crown.
Success is failure turned inside out. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit.
That rhyme.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we can agree with that. And I tell you what,
Jeff's poem from his wall at home. Right?
Oh man.
Brian Christopher, that's exactly what you're up against. That's no poem. Yeah, it is a poem, but that's no poem to me. It's a way of life.
Being sincere. We're being very sincere.
Oh, my
word.
That
was lovely.
No.
Mike thinks it's lovely. So you got
Where's
beat
the
up.
suspenders?
Watch
Right at it. Here,
Oh, you just slapped the taste out of Bert's mouth.
Yeah, you're a loser. You and your whole family.
Is that Mike Samples?
Yeah. No, he's got suspenders.
Oh. But wait, Jeff's hitting everybody in sight. Where are you?
Look out.
Those are highlights of you. What happened?
Watch it.
Oh, no.
Oh, my bleach blood. Look at all that bleach on it.
Was that a sprayed poem?
Yeah.
Terrible. Can't believe you. You just busted Jeff's poem that had been hanging.
had
Dad,
to.
Jerry Jarrett, gave him that, put it on his bedroom wall. He looked at it every morning before he went to school, and then you busted it over his head. You're despicable.
Despicable me.
Yes, exactly. We're going to take a break right now. Tom Play is out of here. We'll be back with this guy introducing The Rock in Memphis.
Let me tell you something. Better get it straight. He is a man.
Now, back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
We are back today with more Classic Memphis Wrestling. Our guest is none other than Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher. And you know what? We've talked about this so many times about how many of the big superstars in the WWE actually got their start. They came right through Memphis, Tennessee. They either started here or were sent down here by the WWE, and all of the big stars came through Memphis. And you had the pleasure of introducing maybe one of the biggest stars of all time from the WWE. No, not you. You know who I'm talking about. But we call him Flex Cavana at the time, right?
Well, I called him Dewey because when he got here, you know, he saw me. He said, "Man, me and you, 6 days a week we would travel up and down the roads and everything. But me and Dewey, The Rock, we would."
You call him Dewey because his name was Dwayne.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this.
Let's do it. Right here today, it's a USWA Tag Team Title Match. First introducing the current holders of the USWA Tag Team titles. Coming in today at a combined weight of 441 pounds.
I'm photobombing back in 1996.
The superstar,
I call it warhawking.
Bill Dundee. Memphis, Tennessee. Here is the King, Jerry Lawler.
Listen to that crowd response.
Lawler and Dundee, the current holders of the tag team titles. Their opponents today coming in at a combined weight of 495 pounds. From Memphis, Tennessee, Too Sexy, Brian Christopher. And his partner making his very first appearance here in the USWA from the islands of Hawaii. Here is Flex Cavana. We're ready for action.
The Rock.
The official referee. Let's send it over
And
now
I tell you
to
what,
my
I told him, I said, we have got to go over and get you on the
this is
microphone.
the way you get it started for real, isn't it, Dave? I got to tell you, when you got a team, Brian Christopher, Flex Cavana.
Real quick before we get this match started, I just wanted to come over here and introduce you, and introduce Lance, and introduce all the fans to this man right here. This is Flex.
Hey, here's the introduction.
Baby. Now get ready. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, I heard what you said. This man heard what you said. You said that you make up for the lack of big muscles with your ability? Will you make up for the lack of big muscles with your big fat mouths? And me and Flex are gonna shut up for you today, and we're walking out of here the new USWA Tag Team Champions.
You didn't let him say anything? Yeah, here we go.
You know, it's as simple as this. It's very short, quick, and simple. We're very naughty by nature, and we're very violent by decision. You know what? I'm done talking. Get ready, because here we come.
That was it.
There we go. Headed for the ring. Flex Cabana from Hawaii.
But that was the first words on Memphis TV by the guy that was going to be now the biggest
the superstar and the king. This one has the makings of a real match here for the USWA today. Tag titles are on the line.
We also got a little edge put on it with Lawler and Dundee making their comments about the lack of mental abilities of their two opponents and turning right around, not being the shy and retiring ones. Too Sexy Brian Christopher said, you make up for it with your big mouths. That's what you do. Looking forward to this one, Dave.
Oh, ought to be a good one. Lawler starting for the team of Lawler and Dundee. Lance, keep your eye on you mentioned you've heard some of the fans talking about the tactics that Lawler and especially Dundee have used in the match.
And that was
I was a little shocked last week at some of the things that I saw going on as they won the titles. We'll see what happens here today.
Oh, man. What in the world?
Easy. Slams Lawler down.
Three down. Get you some, Dundee.
Scoop slammed him. And off and running, and I mean full tilt is Brian.
I think you were a little intimidated because the Rock looks so good.
Consecutively.
Look at it.
Even see that big strapping guy that's his partner. Lex Luger. Heard a lot about him. Be interested to see him the first time he gets into action.
Well, Brian Christopher, since the first day we saw him, has exuded confidence as he stepped into the ring, and he's certainly showing it here today. He has had all kinds of championship belts himself, no stranger to titles. And he and his partner, he feels even more confident with Flex Cabana standing over his corner as his partner today. As they go for the tag team titles. Well, now there is something that maybe could be described as an attention getter for Brian, as Lawler just dumped him, slammed him right in the center of the ring.
After the early opening that he had so successful, that was kind of a wake-up call as Lawler beating to the snatch and grab, picked him right up and slammed him down. And back they tangle it up. Collar and elbow, back to the corner. Christopher pushing the head back to whip. Diagonally across the ring. Hooks that arm, and I mean, he hit crossed him right out in the middle.
Yeah, your partner. Let's see what the Rock can do.
A little disgusted. The referee checking with Brian to see what happened, because he has been informed by the team of Lawler and Dundee that Christopher pulled sides. That's what Dundee is saying. They tie it up again. Back in the corner. Lawler with the advantage. He whips him across the way into the turnbuckles. Oh, Christopher. Whoa. Hey, that short clothesline took him right down to the mat. Dundee had wandered into the ring. Brian said, hey, I'm ready with a super kick anytime you're ready to head this way. Dundee back out on the apron.
Referee Bill Rush trying to get him to settle down now and stay right.
He got mad.
I don't know that that's going to be the case. There's some personalities involved.
Fans on the front row chanting super kick, super kick. They want to see Brian unleash one.
Look, I'm actually asking
get in
for the
there
Rock.
and unleash one. See what he looks like.
That's what Lawler has just said. Said, hey, why don't you go to the corner? Let's see what your partner can do, huh?
All right.
I said, okay. Here comes Flex Cabana. First look at him on USWA Wrestling on TV.
And who came up with that name? Vince McMahon?
It wasn't me.
He's a big dude. It's no great observation. It's pretty easy to see when you stack him upside the king in there.
I've had a lot of people ask me over the years, when you first saw The Rock as Flex Cabana, did you ever have any idea
with that
he would become
experience
a
and
huge
mental
star?
abilities? And Lawler
He was impressive. Great looking
right
young kid,
away,
but I
that's
still
a jumping jack. Knocked him
never
down, he
dreamed
popped
that
back
he would
up
reach
where
the
he could
heights
turn
that he
around.
did. Did you?
Well, I travel with him, you know what I'm saying?
All right, let's Lawler go by a couple of times. Takes him down and immediately back on his feet to catch Lawler on the rebound.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, look at Dundee act like he wants some of that.
He don't.
Dundee livid. Yeah, screaming he pulled his hair. He did not. Lawler immediately got over to the side of the ring and wrapped both feet around the bottom rope. And now Lawler and Dundee are outside the ring. And maybe they didn't exactly want to see what Flex Cabana can do, because Mr. Cabana sure looked good first time around here.
They've seen it up already. They know that this guy can go. This is not the first time he's had a pair of tights on. There's the tag on the superstar. In he comes. He'll be tangling for the first time with Cabana.
Lawler and Dundee not impressed early on. But now that they've seen not only Brian but Cabana, you got to wonder, would their confidence be shaken? Do they now feel, hey, these belts are in jeopardy?
I'd call it sexual.
Well, I don't know, Dave. We both know Lawler and Dundee, and it takes a lot to shake the confidence of these two veterans. Dundee right straight at him, and immediately he's pushed off and down on the floor again, almost rolls out to the concrete floor. And Lawler comes in, puts the finger out, and I don't know exactly what he's saying. He pulled his hair. That's what Lawler's saying.
Well, that's what Lawler and Dundee have both been doing. They've been complaining about pulling tights, pulling hair, anything they can do to kind of get the referee watching their opponent more closely.
If y'all do, I don't think we're going to show it. I'll come out of this fourth.
Yeah, because this is Jerry Lawler.
Into the rope. There's the leapfrog.
Right to the nipple.
It's Dundee down on the deck. Not the greatest drop kick I ever saw, but by golly, it put Dundee on the deck.
I think that shows some of the power of Flex Cabana. He did not get a good drop kick, but Dundee was fairly close to him, and it knocked Dundee back, especially considering what Dundee had been through up until the kick hit him.
Back over again. Brian Christopher. Not an unusual role for him. He's over there cheerleading, and boy, his eyes are glistening, Dave. Brian loves this competition, and he's got him a partner he can swing with.
Yeah, watch out for that left fist, Flex Cabana. Yep, there it comes. We saw Lawler do the same thing last week against his opponent as he and Dundee won these belts.
Cabana coming straight after him. He took that shot from Lawler with that left hand, and it headed right after him. And Lawler thought it'd be a good time to get the referee involved and keep those fists from flying.
Using the referee as a shield.
Yeah,
it was effective. And that speaks well for Mr. Cabana. He backed up rather than taking a swing, taking a chance on hitting the referee.
Lawler over to have a word with Bill Dundee. You still, regardless of how Christopher and Cabana have looked,
and take Brian with
still got to say, from the outside, Dundee rips with a right hand, and another one. As while Lawler shovels him in, Jerry goes over at Brian Christopher, and Dundee working on Flex with the referee's back turn. Lawler holding. Dundee pitching.
Dundee just come
Number 1, 2. Lex Cabana throws Dundee about 3 feet in the air to break out of it at a 2 count. Dundee immediately over to the corner. The tag on Lawler. They double him up. Lex Cabana into the ropes.
Double elbow.
The upper arms from both of them. Dundee's celebrating. He thinks maybe it's over. Lawler picking up Cabana. The match continues. USWA tag titles on the line here. The champions, Lawler, Dundee. And a right fist again doubled up. Puts Cabana on the mat.
From the islands of Hawaii, Lex Cabana
there we go.
Let's see what you're going to do. But don't forget this guy. Here comes too sexy. Pounding away. Lawler taking a shot first from Cabana. A little coconut crush there as Christopher hammered their heads together. And now Dundee caught by Cabana. Lawler by Christopher into the ropes they go. Trying to get around behind.
Double
abdominal
stretch
on Dundee and Lawler.
With that drop.
And the referee clobbered by Dundee. Bill rushed out on the deck while Christopher and Kavana holding on to the abdominal stretches.
Yes.
Dundee reached out, Dave, and just
Dundee,
hammered him with that left hand.
That's one of those things we were talking about. Dundee did that on purpose. That's going to get him disqualified.
I didn't hear that at all.
These guys are in danger of losing the match right here. He nails the referee. That's a DQ. So Lawler and Dundee are going to keep the belts on the disqualification.
Oh, that's
no signal from the referee, but mark my word, that's what it's got to be. I mean,
so smart. See, that's where age and treachery will overcome youth and the enthusiasm every time.
Treachery.
Yeah, that's what we had to resort to. Okay, I'll tell you what, we've had a good time here today. You want to plug your CD one more time?
Oh, well, yes. As long as Tom Nunnery over here with that bucket hat, whatever, he doesn't start playing. Yeah, baby. Sexay. GMS. I'm a Grandmaster Sexay is on the scene.
Okay, listen, calm down. Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher, some classic Memphis wrestling from this young man here today. Want to thank you for being on the show, and will you come back again sometime?
I'll come back tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow.
Next week, come on.
We will have Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher, back sometime in the future. So thank you all for watching here today. We're going to tell you that we're going to have Tom play us out of here, and we'll see you again with more classic Memphis wrestling.
He's the world's greatest wrestler. He's the best you've ever seen.
Thanks for watching
He's the world's greatest
Memphis Wrestling. Brought to you by King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill, 745 Cash, and King Jerry Lawler's Memphis Barbecue Company.